I love this thing. And I don't use that word lightly, but I learned a massive lesson about money with this motorcycle purchase. Basically, don't borrow money for big entertainment purchases like this one. The money you will lose is proportionate and exponential for the amount of money you borrow. I want to talk about my experience and the exact numbers I lost from this purchase, this motorcycle purchase, and someone behind me that I didn't realize. And what I will do next time for a big purchase where I might need to borrow money like this, or just big purchase in general. But for the time being, let me enjoy this while I can. So when I say I'm borrowing money, I'm referring to financing or taking a loan from the bank. This comes with interest because the bank needs to make money off you. This makes sense because the bank loses money, so they need some money back. I fell for the trap of this monthly payment fits in my monthly paycheck. I didn't realize the long-term cost of this expense. So the amount you lose scales with the amount you borrow and how long you borrow it for. So here's some examples. I used 9.9 interest rate because that's what I had to deal with for my car. If you borrowed $5,000 for 3 years with 9.9 interest rate, you have a monthly payment of $165. That's cool, but you'll lose a total of $700. Double the amount with the same amount of years, and you'll lose double the amount on interest. But keep the same amount you borrow, but double the amount of years, and you'll lose more than double the amount. That's crazy. Obvious, right? You can see how it can get exponential, aka not one for one. It's something like compound interest for a savings account where the money starts growing more exponential after a long time period. This is the same thing, but in the negative direction. The people that know this already are probably laughing, but it's honestly so helpful for me to play around with these numbers, and then hopefully it's helpful for you as well. Because I didn't lose a couple of $100s. I lost thousands. This bike costed me 6.2K, and I had it financing for 5 years with a monthly payment of $194. And I was thought like, okay, cool, this fits in my monthly payment. Guess how much I have left in the loan after 2 years of paying it off? I have $5.5 thousand left. AKA after 2 years of paying, I only paid off $700. Why? Because I got extended warranty. And then there was taxes, and then there's financing fees. I was paying off things I didn't even use, like this warranty. I got warranty on a brand new bike. This basically brand new bike. It came out in 2022. I bought it in 2024. Next time when the salesman talks too nice and too quickly, I have to slow down for myself. Lesson learned for sure. Here's the receipt. You can see right here. Here's the extended warranty, financing fees, and then the cost of borrowing was right here, $2,000. I walked out that day so excited, but I didn't know what was really going on with my finances. I just bought my bike. All that excitement wasn't wasted though. Owning a motorcycle resulted in so many good memories. The experience of owning a motorcycle in my 20s was amazing. The feeling of riding a motorcycle is so freeing, and you're so connected to the open world. The feeling is definitely unmatched. The same can be said about trips and other fun experiences. Definitely, I'll be striving for a motorcycle in my future after I get rid of these debts though. So what are you gonna do next time? What was that? Whatever. Next time, I'll definitely save up and buy it in full. Because if you take my bike's numbers, for example, and I save that amount, I'd have so much more money than I would have originally had. I had a monthly payment of $194. The payment length was 5 years. So if I was to do that for 5 years, the total will end up being $11,600. If I put into something like the S&P 500 on the very low end for 6% returns, I would get $13,400. Pretty good. extra 2,000-ish above the 11,000 just made from compound interest. On the higher scale, for 10% on, if the 5 years were good on the S&P 500, it would be 14,800. AKA, I could have had $3,000 in interest from itself. And all this for a bike that cost $6,200. I could have had this bike and $7,000 in my pocket. Damn, I'm kind of mad now. I'm kind of sad. Joking. I'm just joking. This is the end, but before I do go, let me just say this for me and for anyone else that's thinking about buying a bike and having other experiences. Maybe we can have a mindset change. Just talking about me personally. So here's some food for thought, mainly food for gudgeon. Instead of seeking experiences like a motorcycle or a trip, what if we try to find experiences in our day-to-day that give us excitement? Why not make our day-to-day exciting? Give that feeling of freedom in our day-to-day. So we don't need to spend $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 on trips or something like that. You know, just change up the day-to-day so we don't need this. That's it. That's just food for gudgeon, food for thought. Thank you for watching. I will say though, I don't regret this. Look at this bad boy. Yeah, so cool. I don't regret. I'm not the type of person to regret, but you can always learn. So, bye-bye. Bike.